Good evening, everyone. So, we are going to begin with a new model test paper today. We are going to take a new model test paper today, which is based on the MCQ based question that you may expect to get in your board exams. Right. So, just give me a short moment. I'm quickly downloading it from uh, my WhatsApp, and after that, I am going to share that with you. So it's the students who are new on this platform on my channel. Let me just tell you that it's the third model test paper which we are going to discuss today, right? And if you haven't visited the previous two lectures, in which I have taken two model test papers. One was a sample paper which was released by CBSE. The other one, in the other one, I explained, I took a sample paper, right? I explained every question of that sample paper. So if you haven't visited those lectures yet, I would request you to please go and check out those lectures, right? Thank you very much for liking the video, The Naughty Musician. Okay. Thank you very much, dear, for coming on my channel and attending this lecture. So that's PDF file. I am done with downloading it. Let me quickly open it on the browser I'm using. So as you guys know very well, artificial intelligence has taken a large market today. It has taken the complete market, you can say. There are different types, there are different domains of artificial intelligence which are very much in demand today. Like data science is there, we have computer vision, we have natural language processing. So if you want to learn those things, definitely you can join the coding classes, which I am providing to my students right now. In the end of the lecture, I will show it to you practically, what all things we are actually doing in the coding classes, what all things we will be doing in the coding classes. Right, so stay tuned. Let me first cover this sample paper for which we all are here for. So it's the model sample paper number 3, which I am taking now. So section A is, as you guys know very well, there are 6 questions based on the employability skills, and out of these 6, we have to attempt any 5. So let's come on this very first question, which says Mrs. Krishna Iyer recently shifted to Mumbai with her family. She went to society in charge for arranging a cook. Manju is a new English learner from North India. Miss Iyer asked Manju whether she can make chila. Manju suddenly started screaming with a loud voice. Everyone around, they laughed and smiled. What do you think this is an example of? So I think Manju thought that Mrs. Iyer wanted Manju to scream. A word. That's the biggest issue with English. Same word can have two or more different meanings, right? So here, it's this word chilla refers to a dish, right? It's not scream which it is referring to. So I think the correct answer of this one should be what? Is it organizational behavior, interpersonal, is it linguistic or cultural, according to you? I think it should be linguistic behavior, right? Because he was not able to understand the language. Maybe that's the reason he misunderstood the word chila, and that's the reason she screamed, right? Okay, then comes this question number 2, which is identify the object, verb, and subject in the sentence. So we have a sentence given to us here. We have to identify these three things in this sentence. Mohan is playing cricket. So here, Mohan is what in this object, verb, or subject? So Mohan is, of course, a subject. Then playing is verb, and then cricket is object. So as per this information, part D is correct. Question number 3 is Arunima from Ambedkar Nagar, Uttar Pradesh was an unstoppable soul. When a gang of robbers drove her out of a moving train in 2011, she firmly concluded that she would not cringe down. Right? She'll not come down. She was tried. She was tired of people at her. She was tired of people looking at her and pity in her eyes, and mountaineering caught her eye. She found it as a perfect action to symbolic and tangible achievement. It literally embodied the spirit of fighting and conquering obstacles. Now, Arunima Sinha took a pledge. Her objective from that day onwards was not simply to prove her proficiency with a prosthetic leg, but was also to conquer the highest peak in the world, Mount Everest. The sense of accomplishment was that brought back her fearlessness as well as made her an inspiration for everybody. A big round of applause, I must say, we should give for Arunima Sinha. Right, it's a great work she has done for India. What type of motivation did Arunima get? So, what is the kind of motivation which is being taught, which is being talked about in this paragraph here? Is it external or internal or both A and B? So it's internal motivated. It's internal motivation, right? She is not externally motivated. She don't want to win. She didn't wanted to win any medal, or she didn't wanted to win any prize money or something like that. So she was not externally motivated. She was internally, because she wanted to do this. That's the reason she conquered the highest peak in the world, that is Mount Everest, right? So the correct answer of this one is part B. Then comes question number 4, which has two statements in it. So in this first statement is, in this modern age, to have stress in our life is inevitable. Okay. Then we have statement 2, which says the way one deals with stress is more important. Absolutely right. Only a disciplined life and healthy approach can control it. Statement 2 is, I think, also correct. Right. So the correct answer of this one should be, what should be the correct answer? Statement 1 is, in this modern age, to have stress in our life is inevitable. So I think that's not the correct one. Right. It's not correct. Then it's not correct to have stress as an inevitable factor in our life. And but statement 2 is very much correct. So the correct option for question number 4 is part B, both statement 1. Part C, it should be statement 1 is correct, but statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Part D should be the correct answer of this question number 4. Let me just check it again, no problem. In this modern age, to have stress in our, but here it's inevitable. Okay, I was uh, uh, I was a bit confused, I think, in the meaning of this word inevitable. The correct answer of this question should be part A, because both the statements are correct. To have stress in our life is inevitable. This is important, right? In this modern age, it's really important. So the correct answer of part 4 is question number 4 is part A. Sorry for the confusion. Question number 5 is, Mohan wants to store his pictures in Rahul's computer. Fine. He told him to store it in D drive. Okay. Rahul told the steps in an arbitrary order. Help Mohan in following the correct order to store the picture. So we have to now arrange these. We have to rearrange these steps in the correct order. Let's try and do that. So the first thing Mohan should do is, out of these 5, what should he do first? Now that's what we have to find out. I think double click on my computer folder, right? Second step should be the first one, because here only this option B is starting from step second. So I think that is, of course, the correct answer. So part C is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Question number 6 is, which of the following is not an antivirus software? McAfee or this Norton Internet Security, Microsoft Word, Kaspersky. So I think A, B, and D are the names of some popular antivirus softwares. Only Microsoft Word is not a software. It's not an antivirus software. It's an application software, right? So question number six. For question number six, part C is the correct option. Section B, we have to do 15 out of 20 questions, and each question carry 1 marks. I hope you guys are noting down all the questions. Fine. You guys can also answer these questions. I am checking the comment section also. Question number 7 is, which of the following is incorrect about human intelligence? So out of these four, which one is incorrect about human intelligence? Humans have the ability to learn. That is absolutely correct. No doubt about that. Humans cannot take decisions according to the situation. That is absolutely not correct. Right? Why? Because based on the past experience, based on our knowledge, based on the data we have in our brain, we take decisions. So it's absolutely not correct. Question number 7, you can tick mark part B. Arrange the steps to solve a given problem in supervised learning. Okay, so supervised learning is a process in which we train the machine with the help of labeled data. I hope you know about that very well. Okay, now what are the steps we follow in supervised learning? That's what we have to now find out, which is the correct order. There are certain steps, and the names of all the steps are mentioned here in each of these parts. We have to find out that option in which the steps are in correct order, right? They are defined in the correct order. So for question number 8, see, part A is saying gathering, training, set. That is absolutely right. Acquisition stage comes first, and after that the training data set comes. Determining the training data set, because after acquiring the data, we bifurcate it into two different parts: training set and testing set. So we have to first determine the training data, and then we have to determine the input object. What all things you are going to input, you are going to provide as an input to the machine. Then we have to develop an algorithm. Of course, this is also correct. Then we'll have to complete the designing part, and finally evaluation comes. So I think part A is correct, right? Question number 8. For question number 8, you can tick mark option A. Who is the father of artificial intelligence? So we know it very well. It's John McCarthy, who introduced artificial intelligence to the audience for the first time in a conference that took place long back in 1980s or 1970s, I think. Question number 10 is, machine learning is a field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. I think that's absolutely right. Identify the traits that machine learning enables people to perform. Okay, so what all things machine learning enables people to perform? That's what we have to identify. So there are four things given to us here in this question. Predicting future is of course the correct one, I think, right? It helps us in predicting something. For example, if you are developing a machine for atmospheric conditions, atmosphere, or for predicting atmospheric conditions, definitely it will help you in predicting the atmospheric conditions which are going to take place in the future. Right, so predicting future is the correct option. Classifying things in a meaningful way, that is also correct. Classification, regression, then in unsupervised learning, what happens? We have that clustering method. So yes, classification can also be done. Simulating natural intelligence, that's not correct. We are not creating what we call it, we are not creating a simulator. Artificial intelligence is not about creating a simulator of natural intelligence. It deals with combination. It's a part of computer science, which helps us in combining the machine learning and human intelligence together, so that we can create a machine, we can create some algorithm with the help of which can mimic human behavior. So that's absolutely not correct. Fourth one is creating self-learning algorithm. Yes, we try to create an algorithm which can learn itself through its past experience, through the data it has in it, right? The way human beings take decisions, they learn themselves on the basis of what they have experienced, on the basis of their knowledge, right? So I think fourth one is the correct one. First, second, and fourth are correct. This third one is not correct. So part D is the correct option. Option D is correct for this question number 10. Question number 11, we have assertion and reason. A neural network tries to simulate the way brain process, learns, and remembers information. A reason is neural network is a fast and efficient way to solve problems for which the data set is very large, such as images. Okay, so both A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation. No, R is not the correct explanation for A, of course. But both A and R are correct. That is absolutely right. Both of them are correct. But R is not the correct explanation for A, of course. Right. So I think for question number 11, option B is correct. Okay, you can tick mark option B. Question number 12 is Simran is taking pictures of a lunchbox in a shop. Okay, but in the picture, it has it is in 2D shape. Absolutely right. When you click a picture, the object which is in 3D environment, which you are visualizing, it comes in, there's some dimensionality reduction which takes place, and the image comes in the photo that you click, in that the object which comes, it's in 2D. It's a two-dimensional object we see in a picture. So what is happening here? Here dimensionality reduction is taking place. Dimension of the image is getting reduced. Earlier, see it with the lunchbox is of course a 3D object. The way the other objects which exist in our environment are, the moment we click the photograph, the z-axis gets removed, and the only thing which we see in all the objects which we see in the image becomes two dimensionals, are of two dimension, right? Because the image itself is a two-dimensional object. So here dimensionality reduction is taking place. So question number 2, for question number 12, the correct option is part D. Then we have question number 13. Dash learning is based on feedback and random actions. So which learning do you think is based on feedback and random actions? Absolutely right. It is a reinforcement learning, where if the algorithm succeeds, if the algorithm gives us the correct output, it gets awarded by something, right? So here feedback and random action takes place. So that's the reason reinforcement learning is the correct answer of question number 13, part C. Question number 14 is Simran is very good at working with numbers. Okay, she can recognize patterns, work out processes in a logical manner. Fine. Then she has excellent reasoning skills. Okay, she often loves to solve games that involve strategy and also fond of solving puzzles. So which intelligence out of these four do you think she possesses? So as far as I'm concerned about intelligences, Simran possess logical mathematical intelligence. Why? Because here in solving puzzles and strategies, logical thinking is very much required. And because she is good in numbers, so definitely she has a good mathematical intelligence. That's the reason she's able to recognize patterns easily, and she that's the reason she's good in numbers. She can solve any mathematical problem very easily. Right, now comes question number 15. The key features of AI are. So what do you think out of these four are the key features of AI? Okay, who will give the answer? I think okay, so let me just help you with the answer. It's part C, because we need vast amount of data, we need intelligence algorithms, and also we need speech or pattern recognition. Then we have question number 16. Unscramble the letters and find the correct answer. So there are some letters given to us over here, and we have to find out the answer given to us in this question. This stage of AI project cycle includes acquiring the data from the AI project. So yes, of course, in data acquisition, we acquire the data for solving the problem we have scoped in the very first stage, which is problem scoping. It is also called data what? It is called data acquisition. Now, if you will unscramble this one, this word which is given in this option number D, you will get acquisition. So the correct answer of question number 16 is part D. A particular software application that can convert live voice and recorded speech into text. Okay, the speech can be segmented by intensities on time frequency bands. As well, this technique is mostly used in almost Google browsers. This is an example of what? Is this an example of automated machine, machine learning, AI machine, or deep learning machine? So if you'll ask me, yes, it's AI machine. It's an AI machine, right? Okay. Then question number 18 is categorize the following whether AI or non-AI. So there are four things given to us here. We have to categorize them in these two categories, and based on that, we'll have to find out the correct options out of these four given to us in this question. For this question over here, right below this, right at the bottom of this page. So maps and navigation, is this an AI based technology? What do you think? That is absolutely right. Yes, we do use AI things. We don't use AI things in maps and navigations. It's a non-AI based technology. Right. Then we have image recognition. Yes, of course, it's an AI based thing. And self-driving cars, yes, we use AI in this also. Then we have making robots. So we don't use AIs in these. So it's a non-AI thing. So the correct option for this part 18 is question part D. Option D, 1 second, 2 first, 3 first, 4 second. Question number 19, we have assertion and reason. The world of intelligence revolves around data. That is absolutely right. It is the data fed into the machine which makes it intelligent. Okay, the world of intelligence revolves around data. That is absolutely correct. And it is the data fed into the machine which makes it intelligent. Fine. Now we have to find out the correct option out of these four given to us. So I think part A is the correct option for question number 19. Why? Because this assertion is very much true. This is correct. Reason is also correct, and they both are related to each other. It's the correct explanation for this assertion given to us over here. Right, so question number 9, for question number 19, you can mark part A. Given basics of neural network, match the following columns. So we have to match these three with these three. So input layer, acquire data, no processing. So we can match it with what? Now you have to tell me the answer. Yes, you can match we can match this first part with the second part given to us in this column number B. Then we have not visible to user, that is algorithms of course, then converted to nodes. Okay, whole processing is being done. So because here it's written not visible, so of course it is related to something which is hidden. And there are three layers. If you know about neural network, there are three layers in neural network: input layer, hidden layers, and then output layer. So the second one is related to hidden layer. So you can match it with this process data. Now we are left with only this thing because here we are getting the final result. So of course it's the output layer which gives us the final result. So the the correct answer, the correct option for question number 20 will be part or B, or you can say option B. Then we have this question number 21, which says which of the following statements is not correct. So out of these four, we have to now find out which of the statements are not correct. Let me just read the statements for you. While training a model, right? While training a model, the machine classifies images on the basis of labels and predicts the correct label for the test data. Okay, do we do something in while we train a model? What do you think? Is this correct or not? Is this correct or not? Yes, it's not correct. While training a model, what we do, we feed the data which we acquire in the data acquisition stage to the machine so as to make it intelligent. These things doesn't happen, doesn't take place in the training phase, or you can say in the modeling phase. And we have this second statement: mapping function from the given data is generated in clustering. That is absolutely not true. Right, it is also not correct. Then third one is in clustering, okay, data sets are grouped on the basis of similarities and differences. Okay, and what is the fourth one? On reduction, machine cannot make sense out of data. On reduction, machine cannot make sense out of data. So this seems to be correct. Yeah, fourth one is the correct statement, and I think the rest of the three are not correct. Right, so the correct option for question number 21 is the B part. First, second, and third are the only one which are correct. In which stage the 4W problem canvas helps in identifying the key elements related to the problem? Data acquisition, data exploration, modeling, or problem scoping. In which stage the 4W problem canvas helps in identifying the key elements related to problem? You know, it is referring to those 4Ws: who, what, why, and where. Right. So what do you think is the correct option of question number 22? So it's problem scoping. That is absolutely right. Why? Because just after problem scoping, we have this 4W problem canvas tool, right, in which we try to find out what all stakeholders are going to getting affected by the problem we have scoped. Why do you think that the problem we have scoped is actually a problem? That's what we have to write about in the y parameter, and so on. In the what parameter, not in the y parameter. The y parameter we write about, why the solution we are going to provide the customer or the stakeholders with is going to benefit the stakeholder. The statement given below is for any AI project to be efficient, the training data should be authentic and relevant to the problem statement scoped. Okay, for any AI project to be efficient, the training data should be authentic and relevant to the problem statement scope. That is absolutely right. Here we are discussing about which stage of project cycle. You think exploration is the one which we are discussing about, or is it evaluation, or is it modeling, or is it data acquisition? It's data acquisition. Absolutely right. If you have read about AI project cycle in a proper way, definitely it's a very simple question which you can answer very easily. In which approach of artificial intelligence rules are coded into system in the form of if then else statement? So do you think it's the supervised learning, or rule based learning, or unsupervised, or deep learning? In which approach it happens that we code the information in the if then else statement? Of course, it is rule based learning. So we when we make decision trees, or we for by the help of algorithms like CART and ID3, so in that we there are certain rules, which we follow for training our machine, for creating the decision tree. Now those rules are in the form of if then else statement with us, which we fed to the machine along the data which we acquire in the from the data acquisition stage, right? So the correct option of question number 24 is C. Which of the following statement is correct about data visualization? Presentation of data in graphical format, that is absolutely correct. Predicting objects based on labeled data, no, that's not correct. Training of machines using unclassed, no, that is not correct. Acquiring data, that is absolutely not correct. Question number 25, option A is the correct one. Question number 26, which of the following is not a measure to protect a computer? Setting up username and password, yes, it's with the help of this, yes, we can protect the data we have inside our computer. Securing passwords, okay. Then use of protected software, non-locking of computer system. Which of the following is not a measure to protect a computer? Of course, it's part D, right, which is the correct one for question number 26. It's very easy, then we have this section C based on competency based questions. So question number, there are 7 questions, out of which you can attempt, you have to attempt any 5, but I will be telling you the answers of all the 7. The drug discovery process is highly complicated and involves many disciplines. The greatest ideas are often bounded by billions of testing, huge financial and time expenditure. On average, it takes 12 years to make an official submission. Okay. The idea behind the computational drug discovery is to create computer model simulations as a biologically relevant network, simplifying the prediction of future outcomes with high accuracy. That is absolutely right. Which of the following domains is used to achieve this? You think it belongs to data science? This problem belongs to data science or natural language processing or computer vision or fuzzy logic? See, natural language processing, if we have data in the form of speech, we can process it easily using natural language processing techniques. If you have data in the form of images with you, you can use computer vision tools. If you have data in the form of numbers and text, so you will have to use this data science tools for processing those that data. So I think data science is the correct option for this one, because in fuzzy logic nothing like this happens. So question number 27, part A is the correct one. One of the most beneficial points about having an AI assistant is that there is no need to spend money on its salary or labor charges, which is completely free. That is absolutely right. These AI assistants or bots have human intelligence and can work twice the speed of a physical human being, hence giving more and efficient output. From making calls to arranging meetings, everything you can be done. Everything needs to be done with the help of this. It is adaptable to human commands, hence flexible to your orders, like Siri, Alexa, etc. Right? Which of the following applications can you relate to this? Okay, so the option is already given to us here. I didn't see it earlier. 28th part B is the correct one. Right, then we have question number 29. In this set of problems, the goal is to predict the class label of a given piece of text. One particularly popular topic in text classification is to predict the sentiment of a piece of text, like a tweet or a product review. The text classification problem is an example of. So, when you're classifying the text, what do you think it's an example of? Is it an example of reinforcement learning, unsupervised, supervised, or none of these? So I think the correct answer of this one is supervised learning. Why? Because everything here is properly labeled. Here it's written. The goal is to predict the class label of a given piece of text. One particularly popular topic in text classification is to predict the sentiment of a piece of text. Right? So sentiment analysis. It can be done very easily with the help of supervised learning. Right? We have categories like sad, happy, etc., etc. Based on that, we can classify the text, right? AI lifts the limitations of traditional market segmentation by analyzing computer data, customer data to create more targeted segments. It goes one step further by automatically adjusting campaigns to be more personalized for each segment. AI also tweaks marketing campaigns for each segment by changing the variables involved. AI technology collects the data from a selected target audience, automatically monitor and scan keywords or topics. Choose the correct stage of AI modeling, it is done. So, what do you think is the correct option out of these four? So, unsupervised learning, labeled data, no, it's not correct, because in unsupervised learning, we deal with unlabeled data, right? Supervised learning, labeled data, it seems to be correct, but here what is happening? We have regression. So is regression a type of supervised learning, or is it a type of unsupervised learning? Absolutely right. It is a type of supervised learning. So I think for question number 30, you can tick mark part B. But before that, let me read out these remaining two options also for you guys. So the second one is unsupervised learning, unlabeled data set, and then we have classification in this. Right, so classification is not a part of unsupervised learning, of course, it's not the correct one. Supervised learning, unlabeled data set, regression. So supervised learning, unlabeled data is also not relevant. Correct answer of question number 30 is part B. 31 is Google can translate text, documents, websites from one language into another. It offers a website interface, a mobile application for Android and iOS, and an application programming interface that helps developers build browser extensions and software application. For this, the AI technology used is, so out of these four, what do you think is the one which is the correct option of this given question? Google can translate text. So I think it is natural language processing which is being used here, right? So the correct answer of question number 31 is part C. Then we have this question number 32, and it is artificial immune systems are intelligent algorithms derived from the principles inspired by the human immune system. In this study, signals for four distinct motor movements of human limbs are detected. That is correct. The trained detectors consist of four sets of detectors. Each set is trained for detection and classification of one of the four movements from the other three movements. Here the learning technique is, here what is happening, each set is trained for the detection and classification of one of the four movements from the other three movements. It means that we are using some rule based learning or supervised learning or unsupervised learning. What do you think? So here we are using supervised learning because we already have some labeled data with us, which we are using for classifying the things, right? So the correct answer of question number 32 is supervised learning, option B. Image filtering, okay, options are given here also. Let me just check. 32B, that is correct. Image filtering changes the range, the pixel values of an image, so the colors of the image are altered without changing the pixel positions, while image warping changes the domain. The pixel of an image where points are mapped, okay, and your points are mapped to other points without changing the colors. Basically, it alters the pixels of the image to transform it into desired form. That is absolutely correct. Using different types of graphical editing methods through a graphic design and editing software, this image filtering is an example of. So what do you think it's an example of? Absolutely right. It is an example of face recognition. Right. So this is it from my side. I have explained each and every question to you given in this model test paper, and this one is the third one which I have broadcasted and which I have showed to you. If you haven't seen the previous two, please do check them out. Please do listen to the explanation part also, right? So that you can understand each and everything in a good way, right? And don't try to memorize anything. Artificial intelligence is not about memorizing things. It's about understanding the concept practically. You need to have a practical approach if you really want to create something new, uh, you know uh, with these artificial intelligence related things which you are learning today. Thank you very much. This is